Karen, but I mean, man, we saw that snow in our area.
I was driving, Phil, I was driving back to Illinois from Indiana yesterday. Rain in Indianapolis. As soon as I get to Illinois, snow.
Oh man, and then woke up to snow this morning. As you can see, you got a picture there for us.
Yeah, this was actually sent in from Stephen Johnston. This is in Shelbyville. This was the scene that many of us woke up to, and in many cases prevented some of us from postponing going out and about if you could. The roads, relatively speaking, in most cases were fine. There was a little bit of a slush on them. But the snow was specifically, of course, accumulating on elevated surfaces. You can see the rooftop on this barn here. At the same time, you notice the grass that is an elevated surface, believe it or not, just because there is air in between each grass blade. But as we begin to look at this, it was quite impressive on elevated surfaces. You're going to notice that we did have a report of New Lincoln upwards about 3 inches, Herrick around 2. You start to get to Hoopeston around 1.9, Charleston at 1.5, here in Decatur just under 1.25 inches. And this was just over, pretty much in many cases, just from early this morning, say just after 3 a.m. Now, snow accumulation over the past 24 hours, this is what's really tough about snow accumulation. Now, this is not coming up for any excuses whatsoever if we happen to miss out on a forecast here or there, but you can see heavy amounts of rain or snowfall in some areas, and then the community next door was extremely light. This is a prime example that snowfall is not a consistent thing across the board. So that's why we have to give ranges. We said dusting to 1 inch, and that actually hit in many cases. Some communities did get a little bit over that. In those communities, we're typically up and down that I-57 corridor, where temperatures right now are just barely above the freezing point for feels like temperatures. 33 in Champaign, feeling like 31 here in Decatur, and 29 in the state capital, feeling like 30 degrees down along that I-70 corridor at this point in time. Satellite radar still going to support that there is some moisture in the atmosphere. Humidity is up, so that does leave the opportunity for a quick sprinkle or two going into this evening. Not going to rule that out by any means, and we're not done with the snow chances just yet. Now, we're done with accumulating snow, sure, but there's a possibility for some snowflakes going into the weekend, and that's simply because you can see that everything continues to wrap around that area of low pressure, and that's whenever we get the feedback. At the same time, this cold front sweeps through, and that brings our next opportunity for some moisture that does play into Saturday night and your Sunday. Again, no accumulation expected with it, but as we start to get into your Saturday, notice the dense cloud still in place for the most part. Maybe there's a sprinkle on the occasion going into Saturday morning just before daybreak. But this is what we're really kind of hoping for. We start to get in the afternoon, maybe there'll be a break in the clouds on the occasion, allowing some communities to hit the 40-degree mark for your high. The rest of us will be in the upper 30s across central Illinois. Then that cold front starts to play through. Notice the chance for some precipitation starting off in the form of rain, but behind that where the colder air is, well, there's a snowflake or two that's going to be intermixed in there. Again, no accumulation expected with it, but as we really begin to look down the line, you're going to notice tonight's forecast upper 20s. We're starting to get into that winter-like conditions across central Illinois as that cold air does start to settle in. Tonight, 29 degrees, cloudy. Could see some patchy fog. Obviously, a little bit of concern if you're up late or traveling early tomorrow morning. Just make sure you use those low beams. You want that light to get underneath the fog and lift it. Your high beams, your brights, just reflects light back towards you. The wind's going to be out of the west to southwest about 10 miles per hour as we start to look at your day planner for your Saturday. Again, starting off with dense cloud cover. Maybe a break in the clouds in the afternoon, but it's not likely for many of us. That's why I have a high of 39 degrees for us here in Decatur. If you do get that sunshine, there's a better chance, but not a guarantee, you do hit that 40 to 41 degree mark in some cases. Roto-Rooter 70 forecast is going to continue to show the clouds rolling through as we start to get near Sunday. Again, maybe there's a morning snowflake, but it's quick and done and over with, no accumulation there. So New Year's Eve, a little cloudy, but we start to see a bit more sunshine going to New Year's Day. However, notice the temperatures. That's going to be the bigger point over the next 7 days. As we start to talk about seasonable weather, that comes with average temperatures. Our average high this time of year is about 36, 37 degrees. So to see the mid to upper 30s might be disappointing if you're trying to hold on to some of that warmer weather. However, this is pretty typical for an Illinois winter. We've just been pushing that off so far. As you know, we did get near 6 degrees Christmas Day, even the Christmas Eve day before. So now it's kind of Mother's Nature way of repaying us, saying, okay, time for winter. Here's the cold weather the next 7 days.
No, she can